think there is a like crazy baby mama epidemic going on.
Yeah.
he didn't even hesitate, you know. No hesitation.
I don't know. I don't know if it's an epidemic in a sense.
No, hang on. I want to hear what you said. Yeah, you need to go and tell me why you said yeah.
Yeah, I think there is. I try to strip away the good and bad. So crazy, it could be good, it could be bad, but there's definitely since the whole COVID thing, I've just heard a lot more people, including myself, been in relationships, had a child, and then soon after just split, and that's what I'm saying is there's a lot of pressures that come through with that. And then once you're split, you now got to deal with things in a way where it's like you do need to carry the brunt. You do need to like just not say sorry or whatever, but just accept that people are going to look down on you as being the problem, and no one's going to care about your feelings during that. But you still want to be around your kids, so you have to do that.
But then is that to do with the people that men are having children with?
I think so, because I think you can co-parent, right? You can have a good communication.
Yeah, but are you having children with the right person?
No, obviously. I think, in my case, I believe so.
I'm not thinking about it right. I think a lot of people are having children with people they're not supposed to have children with.
I'm having kids out of vibes.
Out of vibes and Ray and nephew, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Ray and nephew and weed has got people having kids.
Aren't you more likely to get pregnant off like one night stands as well? Like, isn't it because the way the body works? Because you're so charged up. Like we revert back to like old instincts, which is
I don't know.
You have to impregnate whatever it is. So one night stands are like a large majority of pregnancies.
I haven't heard that one. But it could be true. I don't know. I'll have to research it.
I mean, it's a lot more riskier, isn't it? Because you're drunk out your head.
But if you're going to have a one night stand, why wouldn't you protect yourself?
Because most people are drunk when they're doing it. And again, those are breeding a lot of children. And then again, if you've been in this situation and you met Sally at the bar, and now Sally's pregnant with little Jake, and you ain't know her from nowhere, and Sally, I don't know, Sally likes to eat moss or something. You didn't know this, or Sally likes to eat moss.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Things, moss.
Man, because what I'm trying to explain is because you don't know the person that you've had this situation with, you're potentially running into it in the dark.
It's a lucky dip.
And a lot of relationships and a lot of children are being born out of vibes.
Nah, I agree with that.
A lot of them are being born out of vibes. So it's like we already have that situation. And not to mention, with the rise of social media, you have to understand that I don't think the baby mama epidemic is necessarily getting worse. I just think it's more televised. So
you think it's always been there?
Yeah, I think it's always been there. It's just more televised. Remember, back in the day, obviously, I'm Jamaican. I'm going to make some jokes here. Jamaicans will make sure the baby mom's around the corner. Yeah, so they're bad, but the baby mom's at least around the corner. There's a trials and tribulations. Africans, for example, the baby moms are in different continents.
This guy.
You see what I'm saying? You got the baby moms in different continents. You know what I'm saying? You got one over here, you got one over here, you got one over here. Man. And the reason why I make this point is, again, it's just because so much things are happening and because everyone has a phone now, I feel like it's just more televised, which means the madnesses that are happening are just out there more. Remember, we had a whole show called Jerry Springer. Yeah, we had Maury. We had. What's the guy that does "You Are Not the Father" and the guy runs out with the camera. Maury. Yeah. Like these things are just more televised now, which means it's being brought to the forefront, and people love that type of content. They love to look at other people's lives and see, oh shit, your life is worse than mine. All right, let me get popcorn. Yeah, let me enjoy it. Yeah. So I think they're not. I don't necessarily think there's more. I don't think it's worse. I just think what's been happening is just being televised more.
I think it's getting worse.
It's worse because there's an incentive around doing that. You understand?
Right.
Like back in the day, you get these actors, or maybe you have to go and source these real people, like crazy lives. Now everybody has an incentive to try and be popular. So let's just expose everything on there. You see what I'm saying?
I actually think it's different. I actually think women are incentivized to be crazy when it comes to being a baby mother. And when I say quote unquote crazy, I mean they get money, right? They can take a guy's, they can take out to the cleaners and divorce. They can get money that way, right? They can be the victim consistently. I think women consistently want to be the victim. In a breakup, women want to be the victim. right? Men generally don't want to be the victim in the breakup. They wanna, yeah, we just broke up. Women were like, oh, he was a narcissist, and do you know what I'm saying? They want to be a victim in the relationship.
They
So
just
it's
like
like
that word.
they love that
Just
word,
like
bro.
that word.
And so it's like, yeah, they want to be a victim. So I just think being crazy is like incentivized for them, both like socially and monetarily.
You're not wrong.
That's what I think.
Yes,
I don't.
Because I know so many. I consult men each month, right? And I've heard so many stories about the baby mama. And I'm not talking about women. We talk about one night stands. I'm not even talking about women that they've had a one night stand. I'm talking about men that have been with women for like 5, 6 years, married to women, blah blah blah. And it's like you hear what's going on. I'm like, you're with her for how long? And she's acting like that. Yeah.
What's the most common thing you hear in your sessions?
The most common thing that I hear is men having to fight for custody, or even just to see their own children.
Yeah, and they have
That's
to
the
do
most
it.
common thing
They
I
have
hear.
to do it in a kind of way where it's fully hands off. You know, where it's like there's almost an assumption from the beginning that you're in the wrong, so you need to work harder because the law does favor the child go with the mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to the whole social connotations around that, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, even my situation, I was with a woman for like 10 years, bro. It wasn't some fly by night. And even after being with her for 10 years, and the things I'm getting, I'm like, you're acting like I'm some kind of deadbeat or something. Like I've just slept with you, and it's crazy. And the thing is, going back to Tyrese was saying in his interview, was saying it was very weird for him to process as a man being with someone for so long and having this life, and then it being meeting somebody again, like, and they're looking at you like you don't know them, and you're like, it's me, innit? Like,
Yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, it's me. And they're like, and you're like, but it's me though. And I think that I had to adjust to that as well. I remember I was like, why are you acting like this? Like, we were just living together. Like, why are you acting? It's crazy, bro.
So that must instill some serious trust issues because you said 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
And it's like the mask just came off and just completely different.
Bro, the mask came off, bro.
Do you think that's how it's always been, or like the new phase of ideas? Like I said, I think change.
There's
flip people.
Do you know what I think? I think it was always there. I just think now it's on steroids. I think that it's always been there. I think that a lot of the time now, for me, I said a lot of men are walking around, or a lot of boys are walking around not liking their dads, not realizing why they don't like their dads. Now we know, I think it's been exposed why children don't like their children now, because like there's a lot of mothers like turning children against their dad, and we can actually see it now. Do you know what I mean? And we can see with the way they're taking their kids and not letting the men see their kids. But back in the day, we didn't know that.
Do you know what? I find it so interesting because as you were just saying, I've actually seen quite a few stories, similar stories specifically where men are like, oh, you know, I grew up with my mum, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 this and that was happening. They would do certain things to kind of run out and see where their dad is and be at the window and this and that and trying to see where their dad is, blah, 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 blah. And they get to an older state and they're like, raw. They sit down with their dad. They have a deep conversation. And they're like, now that I'm a man, I get it.